Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? This is your girl, Melody, and you're welcome to another exciting episode on the podcast, Just with Melody, your one stop podcast for fun, gist, and entertainment. Here we get to talk about a wide variety of topics, bringing in professionals where we need to, so they can also talk about these conversations. And this is not an exception. I want you to call your friends, call your family, let them know that another episode is here. Okay? Do not do this alone. Let them listen. They need to learn. This is Workplace Culture Season 8 on the podcast, and if you have been following us for weeks now, we have been talking about so many interesting things as regards the workplace, and today is no exception. Today, we're going to be talking about communicating with a demanding boss. A number of us have had to deal with a demanding boss. So how do you go about this? How do you handle this? We're going to be talking all about it today, but not without me introducing my guest. And it's none other than Favour Emmanuel. Favour Emmanuel is a dynamic individual driven by a passion for problem solving and engaging in meaningful conversations around a range of topics. She possesses a keen interest in exploring and addressing complex issues, including deep-rooted ones like feminism, as well as more everyday topics like how to enhance one's productivity or manage stress levels. As a career professional, Favour specializes in helping brands achieve consistent and effective visibility online through content marketing. Aside from her professional pursuits, Favour has a diverse range of interests and hobbies that helps her refill and relax. For example, she finds immense joy in watching rom-com, K-dramas, and action movies during her leisure time. In addition, she listens to podcasts that focus on wellness, mental health, and comedy. Overall, Favour Emmanuel is a well-rounded and driven individual who is passionate about making a positive impact in both her personal and professional life. So, without wasting any time, join me as I welcome Favour Emmanuel. Woo! Favour Emmanuel. Favour Emmanuel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, she's a celeb. I need to add that. She's a celebrity. She's
We
a
didn't we didn't need to go there. We didn't need to
but
go
really,
there.
I just needed to let people know that I don't just bring anybody to my podcast. I bring celebrities. Thank you so much once again for doing this. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you
So
for having me.
today, yes, thank you. So today we are talking about communicating with a demanding boss. At one point in your life, a number of us might have had to deal with a demanding boss, or perhaps you've seen people who have experienced having a demanding boss. I mean, somebody, either your boss, a direct boss, a line manager, or somebody who is literally your senior in the place of work. But anytime this person comes around, or more, you're like, your heart is literally skipping, your heart is beating so fast, you're already like, ah God, this person again, ah God, this person again. Whether or not you do your job is not even it, because this person is always breathing down your neck. So my first question for you, Favour, is who exactly is a demanding boss?
Um, a demanding boss is I think you've actually answered that. Someone who is always on your neck to deliver and all of that. I also think it depends. There can be levels to it. It could just be a
Okay.
boss who has a lot of KPIs to meet and
Okay.
needs you to meet yours. It could also be a boss who is not considerate, who doesn't care how you do it, like just
Okay.
deliver and that's all. So it could be two ways.
Okay. Okay. So have you personally had to deal with, or have you had a demanding boss?
Yeah, I have. you would
What was the
yeah,
experience like?
yeah, if you are working in tech, you would definitely have to deal
Hmm.
with a money boss because I feel like tech how do I define tech is very I don't know if the word is I don't know the right word to use for this, but tech is very demanding. It's very demanding,
Okay.
especially when you are in the marketing end. It's very, very demanding. You need to be up and doing, or you are always going to be on your feet. You have
Yeah.
to stay on the look for stuff that would you can use to promote the brand. So yes, I have. And also, like I said earlier, demanding bosses they are levels to it. It could be a boss who
Okay.
just wants you to deliver, who wants you to always be on your feet and deliver. It could also be a boss that is inconsiderate. But for my own end, it's usually on the former side. I've always
Okay.
had bosses that are demanding but very considerate.
Okay. Okay. So even if the person is demanding, if it's on the good part, in that sense, the person has to also be considerate as well.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah. You have to show empathy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I get that. So, in your opinion, how can an employee understand the expectations of a demanding boss and be able to meet those expectations?
Yeah. So I would always make emphasis to what I said about
Okay.
they're actually humans. Speaking from the end of
Hmm.
someone who is one, they're actually humans and being a lead is tough. I've worked in leadership, I've been in different leadership positions and I know how demanding it can be. You have bosses who are on your neck to deliver. I want this done. I want this done. And sometimes the boss may not be able to handle it well and then they pour all that aggression to you.
Okay.
Right. So firstly, you have to understand that they are humans and try to see where they are coming from. Try to see where they're coming
Okay.
from. Communicate also. Communicate. If the person is considerate, you would know. If the person is not, you also will know. So try to communicate. Hey boss, I know you want me to do this, but this is where I am at this point. This is the tax I have on my end or do you want me to drop this and go ahead to do this? Yeah, and also be accountable to them. Communicate, even the slightest thing, communicate about it. Actually, when you are working in a remote situation where they don't see you
Okay.
every day, ensure you
Hmm.
communicate. The slightest thing happens, report to them that this is what is happening. This is what happened. That way they are going to be in sync with you and with time there'll be with time a rapport will begin to develop between you and your boss. Yeah, I would also like to say that I understand that there are extreme cases, but on a normal day this should work.
Okay. Okay. You have also talked about some ways of communicating with a demanding boss, but what if there are cases where after doing all of these things, like some of the things you've mentioned, letting them know on a regular if there is one issue or the other, especially sometimes in a remote situation, or even if it's a
Situation
physical location and all that, and none of this is actually improving, rather it is getting worse in that
where
sense. Yeah, so how can the person navigate this scenario, in your
okay. So I
opinion?
think yeah, in my opinion, I think at that point you have to let someone else step in. Let
Okay.
someone else step in. I would recommend you speak to a senior professional in your
Okay.
industry, not necessarily in your workplace, in your
Okay.
industry. Maybe you have like a mentor or someone you look up to in your niche that you can talk to. I think you should table the matter to them, let them know I've tried this, I've tried that, and it's not working. Like lay everything out to them and let them they would actually guide you. And then from I think when you speak to your a mentor, they may
Okay.
likely recommend something to share, maybe with your
Okay.
boss, maybe an email. I'd like to recommend you to share an email because even that to your boss, on in most cases, it's also an employee. In most
Okay.
cases, it's an employee. So if you have done your best, you have tried all possible best, and nothing is working, try to speak to a senior professional outside your work, someone that you can confide in, of course. Tell them
Okay.
what's happening. And I would also recommend that you send an email, but speak to them first. Speak to them
Okay.
first. Then you can also draft an it. They would likely recommend you draft an email to speak to maybe higher positions to let them involved in the matter because you don't pass your
Okay.
power at this point. Right? And
Mm-hmm.
also, while you're drafting that email, let them know because sometimes it's also something I'm improving in. I'm improving on.
Okay.
There are ways to draft emails that will not look like you are attacking the person. That will not look like you are,
Yes.
yeah, you
Yes.
get, yeah. So there are ways you can construct emails and the person will feel you like, okay, okay, okay. So, and sometimes you may not be able to do that on your own. And even if you are, it doesn't hurt for a second person to look through it and then send an
Okay.
email. I'm sure if it's a company that has a good working culture or good
Yeah.
work culture, that they would take it up from there.
Hmm. I think you just laid a very good emphasis. Those that have good working culture. If you are
Yes.
in a place where there is no strategy, there is no nothing, anything goes,
Mm.
then it's as good as the Lord is with that person because there
Yeah.
really is no way. I personally do not know how the person will be able to navigate such a thing like that. Now, when you talk about working, like your workload as an employee, and then
Mm-hmm.
managing your time, along with having a demanding boss, I mean, you had that. How were you able to get all of this, your workload, prioritizing your own time, and just getting that work done so that you will not have your boss saying, where is this? Where is this? Where is this? I asked you to do, where is this? How were you able to manage this?
Yeah. So the first thing is actually communication. Communication is like it's as much as it's basic, it's not that basic because that's how you would run it and it won't work well. So communicate with that boss,
Mm-hmm.
consistently communicate with your boss, and then be
Okay.
proactive. Be proactive. If I think if you've worked with them for a number of months, you would be able to see patterns on how maybe what
Mm-hmm.
they need at every point in time. So be proactive.
Yes.
They ask you to do A. Once you are done with doing A, do B also. You are done with doing A, do B also. And if possible, do C. So while they are, when you submit it to them, they have seen that you have done A. If they're about to ask for
Okay.
B, they see it on the list and like, okay, this person is
Mm-hmm.
trying to meet up. And I think with that, it can help to build a rapport because your boss would also say that you are doing your best. You are being up and doing, you are trying to meet up. You're trying to meet up to demands. That is true. Another thing you could also do is you could also check in with yourself, right?
Okay.
It could be from your end. Issue could be from
Okay.
your end. It could be from your end. It could be that you are not doing enough. It could be you're not doing enough. Um it could be that you are not stretching yourself because I think one of the things we look forward to achieving as career professionals is growth. We are looking to grow from one point to the other. We are looking to get promotions.
Yes.
So when you
Yes.
get into a new career path, you to get that growth, you have to stretch yourself. So looking
Yes.
within would also make you see, will make you analyze the situation. Am I doing enough? Am I stretching myself? This growth that I'm looking forward to achieving. And of course, I also hope that you have like your career goals listed. I want to get to this point maybe in 5 months.
Mm.
So this thing you are doing right now, can it get to that point in 5 months? Right. So it could be you. You could be the one hindering the causing the whole, I don't know if it's chaos or the whole
Okay.
misunderstanding. So look within yourself. Are you doing enough? Are you stretching yourself? Could you do better? Could you do better? Another thing I would also say is work dynamics actually differ. It
Okay.
differ. When you are a freelancer, you're working for yourself. It's different from when you are corporate organization, the rules are quite different. Rules are very different.
Different.
Another thing,
Yeah.
you can't compare A company to B company.
True.
A company may have something working, they have things that you envy that are working out for them, but your company may not have that. So instead of complaining, I think you should look at the good side of it. Someone used to say this, that there's no perfect complaint.
Okay.
And the grass is always
Yes.
greener on the other side. But I think a better way for that idiom or phrase is the grass is greener where you water it.
Where
So
you are. Yes.
instead of complaining, look at the positive side of your company, because comparing can make you lose sight of what you are out there to achieve. It can make you start complaining, and when you start complaining, that's the only thing that will be in your head when you think about the company. So look at the brighter
Okay.
side. It could be you, yeah. So all those tips could help.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Most of the time when we have this demanding, either a demanding manager or line manager or senior colleague, as the case may be, most times what people do is in the place of work is to start gossiping about this person. When the person is not around, can you imagine what he said to me? Can you imagine what she said to me? She did this, she did that, you know. Now, this is actually not something that is healthy because a workplace is like a, I don't know the word to use. Like sometimes the things that you do not even say would eventually be used against you. So instead of gossiping, what would you, um if there was someone facing that situation, rather than gossiping with other colleagues, what would you advise this person to give as the best approach instead of gossiping?
Um, yeah, I think I pretty much covered some of that, but I'll go over them again for emphasis. So communicate to that line manager, right? Gossiping about them is not a right approach, especially because of work politics. It might be an
Yes.
organization that they take work politics serious, and
Mm-hmm.
once gossiping starts, those your colleagues who you think are your like gossip partners, you may be surprised what they
Mm-hmm.
would do. I mean,
Mm.
you might be surprised what they
Mm.
would do, and people say that your colleagues are not your friends. Well, it's not black and white. Well, that's another conversation for
Yes.
another day, but it's not black and white.
Yes.
But the point is that it's a workplace, and things should be
Mm-hmm.
done professionally. Things should be done professionally. Gossiping is not the right approach to take. So try to communicate with that line manager. Try to communicate with them objectively, objectively,
Okay.
right? I know we may tend to be emotional about this, but I mean, in some companies, nobody sends you're emotional. That's a cup of
Mm-hmm.
tea too.
Yes.
So you can be
Yes.
emotional to yourself, and maybe while you're indoors, I don't like this thing somebody's doing, or maybe to your mentor or to your friends that's outside. Where I don't like what this person did. But after you're done with that, try to be objective about it. Why is this person? What's this person demanding of me? Start with that. What are the demands? List them out. Is this too hard for me to do? Okay, if it's too hard for me to do, why is it too hard for me to do? Probably because there's not enough time in between. Maybe there's micromanagement. Like you could list a whole lot of things, and then what can I do to make this thing better? What can I do to make this thing better? How can I help
Yeah.
myself? How can
Mm-hmm.
I help myself? Then the fourth one, how can my boss help me?
Hmm.
How can my boss help me? Right? Because it's supposed to be a teamwork, right? It's supposed to be
Yes.
a teamwork. Yeah. So how can my boss help me? So list all of that objectively. How can I? What is difficult? What's the task or what's the issue I'm having? Is this too difficult for me? How can I help myself? How can my boss help me? List that
Hmm.
out, and then when you are done, you can now have a meeting with your boss.
Hmm.
Have a meeting with your boss. Try to look at things objectively, and if they're a considerate person, they will definitely see point in what you shared. And also you could try to frequent your one-on-ones. Try to
Okay.
have one-on-ones as frequent as possible. It's something I'm learning to do frequent. Initiate it, even if they don't initiate
Okay.
it. So the one on especially in a big organization where your
Yes.
boss is in charge of maybe a whole team or maybe
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot of things. Yes, try to initiate one-on-ones. If your boss is a busy person, that one it's actually a whole lot. If your boss is a busy
Yes,
person,
it is.
someone who you have to keep reminding about stuff, and you won't blame them. You won't
Mm.
blame them because I
Yeah.
mean they have a whole lot of work to do, and time
True.
is really, really precious to them.
Yes.
30 minutes is really precious to them. So you have to find fix a time. Even if your boss works, maybe you could have a boss that works maybe you are in Nigeria and your boss works in the US. That means you have different
Yes.
time zones. When you are awake, your
Mm-hmm.
boss is not. So you
Mm-hmm.
could have to find a middle ground. You are the one who wants to grow. So
Yes.
it doesn't hurt to put in the extra effort to get what you want to do. So initiate
Mm.
one-on-ones. One-on-ones is an opportunity for you to sync with your boss so they can see your progress, see how much you have improved since the last time you guys spoke and the new thing you are doing now. So all of this will help you to have a good rapport with your team lead or your boss, and then help from there.
Okay. Thank you so much for these golden nuggets that you shared with us today.
You're welcome.
Do you have any final words for anyone currently experiencing this, or everything we've said is as good as a summary for them?
Final words, final words. I would like to say that if you're going through this issue, I would like to empathize with you. It's a whole lot, actually. It's a whole lot because
True.
I mean, you get into the workplace and you expect it to be as smooth as possible. I do my work, I go back home, wake up the
Mm-hmm.
next day, go back to my work. But once you get into it, you realize that it's more deeper than that. It's more
Yeah.
deeper than that. And yeah, always also take note that the grass is greener where you water it.
Mm-hmm.
Office, workplaces can differ. We see a whole lot of companies that they post online that have like good reviews. This company, they are doing amazing. They buy stuff, they buy lunch for their staff. Maybe in your
Mm-hmm.
company they don't do that and you start complaining. But just focus on the good
Yeah.
side and see that every company has like they're in different every company can be in different stage in their
True.
growth. Your company may have
Yes.
not gotten to that point. So focus on the positive side where you work. And if you've done all of this and none is working, you could as well take your leave and start processing to get other opportunities. I mean,
Yes.
because working in a toxic place can affect you in every way possible. It can
Very
affect
true.
you so much that you may have to go into therapy or go
Mm.
for therapy rather. Yeah,
Mm.
it can be that toxic. So if you have experienced if you have tried all of this and none of them is working, you can as well take your leave for your mental health sake. Take your leave. Start, but before you leave, try processing to get other jobs
More
because
opportunities.
getting a
Yes.
job is actually can be tough. There are a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot of jobs out there.
Mm-hmm.
There are a whole lot of jobs out there, even if you are really good. But the process of getting them, some companies have about four different interview stages.
Yes.
Yeah, so getting a job it can be actually strenuous. The process can be strenuous. So before you leave, it will be great for you to land another job or a better job
Mm.
before you leave, so that as you are leaving, you are getting into a better place. So you don't leave and
Yes.
you start job hunting and you get depressed and you get sad that you shouldn't have left. Yeah,
True. Thank you so much, Favor. Thank you
welcome.
very much. So is there anything you're currently working on? What should we be expecting to see from Favor Emmanuel? Your socials, where can we follow you on your socials to get to know and see more of you?
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm the Favor Emmanuel on Instagram. Creative Favor, creative underscore Favor on Twitter. For
Okay.
what I'm working on at the moment, I'm not working on anything at the moment, but I have something in my head, but it's not yet time for me to talk about it or launch it.
Okay. How about your social media classes? Is this still ongoing?
Yes,
How's it
yes, yes.
going?
It is just I just right now I'm taking just one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, for social media management. If you're looking to become a social media manager, I train social media managers from start to finish. I've trained over 50 students so far. Yeah, so at the moment, I only take one-on-one sessions. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And guys, I need to let you know that she is good. Very, very good. Might I add that the reason why I can design on Canvas so very well is courtesy of Favour Emmanuel through Orifunke Lawal Academy.
Oh,
So if I tell you she is good, best believe that she is good. So if you're interested in getting a one-on-one consulting with her, I would also drop the link for her socials so you can just reach out to her and you guys can continue from there. Once again, Favor Emmanuel,
thank
thank you
you.
so much for doing this with me. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Thank you. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Until the next episode, I remain Melody. Bye.